Hello everyone, my name is Danny. This review is going to be my first review from my new place that I moved. Don't have posters up or anything, and I got my movies back here and some on the shelf. But this is going to be a work in progress, and I'm going to try to change every video and get different ways to shoot the video. So I hope you bear with me on this review. So this review is going to be for Spider-Man Far From Home. This is a 2019 film. It's rated PG-13. It's runs a little over 2 hours. It's the story of Peter Parker being Spider-Man, being in high school, taking a field trip during the summer with the science club from school. It's all the usual characters, Flash and MJ, and MJ is played by Zendaya. Peter Parker is played by Tom Holland. This also stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Jon Favreau, some other people. Pretty good cast, pretty good acting all around. So, yeah. I'm going to start off by saying how turned off I have been from Spider-Man, from The Amazing Spider-Man. It was just a joke of a movie to me. I was not looking forward to seeing this one in theaters, and I just was not happy about the whole Spider-Man situation the last year or so. I did not see the cartoon Spider-Man. I just saw that on DVD a little while ago, and I did not want to see this in theater, but there's really nothing else to see this week. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to go. I'm going to sit through it. I'm going to bear through it. Hopefully I'm not around any annoying people, because that's just going to worsen the experience. But I'm going to sit through this. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to see how it goes. Well, I'm pleasantly surprised. I'll state that as a fact, okay? I'm pleasantly surprised with the movie. Nothing was like uber stupid. Nothing. There was a lot wrong with it, but nothing was uber stupid. So the good things are the graphics. It's just phenomenal. I really was I was in the movie a lot. And there was a lot going on. There was a lot to see. There was a lot of surprises. There was, like I said, the acting was really good. So I just think the graphics were, detailed. And there was so much going on that it jumped from one thing to another. And everybody in the movie kept saying that things looked real. And, they were encompassed in the situation. And it kind of made the movie viewing crowd feel like they were in that situation also. So that was all really good. Good props there for the graphics and all that stuff. For the storytelling, element of making you feel like you're in the movie. It did have that. So I do appreciate that. I'd have to say kind of the best spotlight character would probably be Jake Gyllenhaal. He really encompasses everything that you need in this film. He takes on this feeling of, coming into the situation and how do you handle yourself, and then his character, what happens there. He handles it pretty deviously, and so I thought he handled it really well. I don't appreciate what happens at the end with his character, but I think people will be talking about that enough that everybody's going to be disappointed collectively. So we'll just move on from him, but I really do like Jake Gyllenhaal. I think it was a treat to have him in this movie, to be honest. So it was a pleasant film. Like I said, you feel like you're in there and everything, but it's more than that. Like, it wasn't funny. It was interesting story. It wasn't like a thrill ride of action the whole time, but it was interesting where it kept you interested the whole movie. So the bad things really, I just kind of, in general, it just didn't have much of a point, or it took a long time to get to the point, or let's just say the first half hour didn't exist, okay? The rest of the movie has, trains and action and fighting these evil things, and it's all pretty exciting. So I think you could have cut out 20 minutes of this movie and it would have been fine, but they had 20 boring minutes. They just did. So that's the first thing. The thing that I don't like about who's doing these movies with Tom Holland as Spider-Man is that they're trying to shove their humor down your throat, and it's not funny at all. It's like people saying sarcastic comments and people saying something bland and nobody reacting, and that's when you lose the audience, is when you're not completely authentic conversation between the characters, when we all know that these people on the screen are not 16 years old in real life, but they're playing 16-year-olds or 17-year-olds, and it's like they have to dumb down themselves to entertain us, but what we want them to be entertained, is authentic. And they're just, the movie makers are not getting that. With the two movies that I've seen of Tom Holland being Spider-Man, I have not laughed at anything. I might have chuckled, I might have thought it was cute, might have thought it was pathetic, but I haven't laughed. So the humor is just way off base, just in general, all the time, both movies. The things that I could rip apart, and I didn't have a notebook with me in the theater or anything, but if I'm honest, I could watch this again. It was interesting. It did amaze me and wow me a lot. But if I had a notebook on me and I rewatched this, I'm going to pick apart a lot of stuff. And there's some scenes that just end with people looking off in the distance because they said a line, and that means that you have to go to the next scene. And just the way of talking to each other, So, I'm not going to be the reviewer that gives away the ending, but I will say that there's an extra scene. This is what I'll say about the extra scene, is that it messes with my brain, dude. I don't know what that extra scene's about. If it means this whole entire movie either didn't exist or didn't involve a certain person, then you just blew everybody's mind, and a lot of people aren't staying for that little trailer at the end. So, and don't do that to people. Don't just, change the whole movie that we just watched by an extra trailer. What did we just sit for 2 hours for watching? If you're just going to change a whole thing. So, talk about that amongst yourselves. But that's what I think it meant. And so, I'm a little irritated by that. But that's not part of the movie, per se. But literally, they could have ruined everything just by having that trailer. And it kind of pissed me off. The other thing with the ending that I think I can say is that if they have another movie of this with these elements that they've presented, then I think we're in for a really crappy third movie. I think I'm going to be even more disappointed with it than I was with the first one. And, there are some things in this, like I haven't mentioned yet, where I'm happy that they mentioned the Endgame movie and elements of that. I think the whole Iron Man love fest is a little overdone for a Spider-Man movie. I think when people look back on this 10, 20 years down the line, they're going to be like, why, if they just watched this movie, they're going to be like, why are they talking about Iron Man like the whole frickin' time, So, you got to think about some of these things, You can't just make a movie and have this Spider-Man character looks so pathetic all the time. I mean, TV shows do this with a character they don't know what to do with. They just write him off or they make fun of him the whole time, and you're really making Spider-Man look weak. And I just don't like it. I'm just not into these movies. So, with the enjoyment factor and with the frustration factor, I'm going to give Spider-Man Far From Home a B-. I know a lot of people are loving this movie. I don't really understand why. There's a lot wrong with it. There's a lot of good things about it. But it's a middle ground movie. It's not one of the best movies ever done. There's some feel-good moments, but there's some really, really stupid moments. So don't be persuaded either way. Just go into this movie, have the middle ground attitude, and enjoy it. If you're frustrated at the end, let me know, because I cannot be the only one. A B- for Spider-Man Far From Home. My name's Danny. Thanks a lot, guys. If you like this video or any of my other videos, try and give some of them a watch. Like and subscribe to my channel if you would. And as always, enjoy your movies. Thanks.